My first psychotic episode was very terrifying. It was a very scary experience. I remember some approaches that my parents were taking at the time. By no fault of theirs, they were just trying to adapt to what was going on. But they were saying, Matt, do you realize you're sick? Do you realize you have an illness? And I would always shut down during those periods of time. I'd become more in my head or more less prone to connecting with them, I guess you can say. I would say the biggest change after my parents learned about LEAP was more of a empathic, open connection with my parents, something where I felt like they were on my team, felt like they were there to help me, there to guide me, there to listen, there to understand, not to place judgment on what was going on, but more so understand and be on my side and on my team, and that was helpful for my recovery from mental illness. So.
I'm Jennifer Lennox-Terrian, and I'm a parent and professor from the University of Ottawa. About 4 or 5 years ago, my son became very ill and spent several years as a runaway homeless young person. We didn't know what was going on. When we finally found out that he was diagnosed with schizophrenia, we were completely lost and didn't know how to handle things. I did a lot of research, a lot of reading, and I came across LEAP, which I put into practice, and found that within a couple of months we were connecting with him, and that was 2 years ago, is now in recovery, and is just starting second year of university.
And LEAP just makes it so much easier because you are partnering and you're understanding, you're listening, and you get such a different reaction from clients in that respect. And once you gain their trust, then you can really get in there and get, the work done that needs to be done. But without it, oftentimes you can't. And that's why I am just so thrilled that LEAP exists.
And going to a seminar and has helped us so much in an approach on how to work with not only our son but with his team, and to be on his team, and so for him to believe that we're on his team. And I don't believe we would have gotten there without LEAP. I just don't. I know we would be screaming. We would still be screaming. We would still be fighting. I'd be sitting here sobbing because I wouldn't know what to do right now. And I'm not. I'm empowered. I'm not afraid, because it's a scary thing, but I feel very empowered.
I'm just so appreciative of how transformative LEAP has been in my family. We have a family that's been ravaged by several generations of serious mental illness, with multiple members of my family, both immediate siblings and cousins. And there have been a number of incidents in the last couple of years where years of untreated mental illness have kind of manifested itself in encounters with law enforcement, marriages that have been broken up, families that have been kind of torn apart. And LEAP and the LEAP approach to communicating to people who are unaware of their illness has been just really transformative.
Anosognosia, which is when my loved one couldn't see his illness. LEAP allowed me to develop new language that actually facilitated the recovery process. Once my acceptance of my son as he was acknowledged, then he got on board with medical compliance and everything else. And so now we're seeing great success. When the communication changed with my son, the urgency of taking care of crisis wasn't there. So it was just a natural rebuilding of a relationship that was lost.